Hey friends! So today I wanted to talk about Project Bluebeam because time's getting near, right? It's getting closer. So I don't know if you guys heard of Project Bluebeam, but what I've heard about it so far is there's going to be a fake alien invasion, right? So apparently the government's going to, okay, so the aliens are space siblings, right? There are intergalactic space siblings, right? They want us to form a new Earth where everyone has like the same consciousness, kind of like we're all connected. So we're not gonna be, they want us to all to be closer to nature. See the birds flying by as I said that? I know that's right. They want us to be closer to nature, closer to each other, you know, see each other as source, experience each other, you know what I mean? Like as family, as, you know, not warring with each other, you know what I mean? But the government obviously doesn't want that. The government wants us at war and to hate each other. So what they're doing is they're going to put a fake alien invasion. So we're going to see the aliens get scared because they're going to be doing all these awful things. But in reality, that's not the aliens. That's actually the government doing that in disguise of the aliens. So apparently they have these things that look like aliens, but they actually aren't. Right? And then they're going to have these things coming from the sky and whatever, I guess blue beams. I don't really know. And so it's going to be scaring everybody, and so everyone's going to be afraid of these aliens and not want to communicate because we're going to believe that these beings want to attack and kill us, when in reality they are just trying to come and help us be better humans, you know, and be more in touch with ourselves. So let's watch this and see what's going on.
Most dangerous information that you know.
Oh boy. They're going to hoax an alien threat, I'm quoting, and it's all a lie. So we are actually in the last year at the point where they've started on that plan.
Well,
and that's why we're doing this next documentary.
Is that through movies?
We have got to intercept this plan and stop it. Or if you think 9/11 and the Iraq War was a clusterfuck, this is going to be that 1,000 times worse. That is, that there's a group of people who control this issue that are trying to provoke an interplanetary incident. So the next war, World War III, will be interplanetary. And if there is a serious group of nut jobs, and they have to be put on a leash and stood down fast and quickly. This group started releasing stuff to the CNN and Washington Post and New York Times. Every bit of information they're putting out has the spin, it's a threat to the national security, our sovereignty has been invaded. It's the kind of brainwashing that's already started to try to convince the public there is an alien threat. You know, the future of what we're going to do and have on this planet is hanging in the balance, and we're going to have to wake up.
No, for real. And that's why it's really important for us now to really, really wake up. Because there's so much things that the government has planned for the society. And it's like, we got to wake up and be in touch with who we are. So when these things come towards us, we already know, right?
U.S. history. In a little-known episode, Springfield faces a nationwide blackout that plunges the city into complete darkness. The streets are deserted. Markets are looted. Meanwhile, rumors of technological interference begin to surface. The most intriguing scene shows a federal building with lights flickering mysteriously, as if being remotely controlled. But then, something happens. A massive electronic billboard in the main square begins broadcasting a message. Everything is connected. Prepare for the unknown revolution. At the same time, drones start flying over the city, dropping flyers warning about an impending catastrophic event. Panic spreads among the population, and a mysterious figure appears, delivering a crucial warning. In the episode's final moments, a message from one of the drones grabs everyone's attention. You have few hours left, but what does it mean? The episode ends with Homer staring at the sky as lightning reveals a massive device approaching on the horizon. What were the Simpsons trying to warn us about? Comment 2025 for part 2 and share with a friend. See you tomorrow.
And you know that the Simpsons have been pretty on point about a lot of stuff. But I think, what did I hear about the Simpsons? I think they said that they had somebody like a psychic or something that was telling them stuff or something like that, or I don't really know. Can't remember now, child.
Project Bluebeam is the plan that was revealed by an investigative journalist in the 1990s. to stage a fake alien invasion using holographic technology in the sky with religious figures and religious heroes to justify the centralization of power in the world, to meet the threat, the alien threat.
Guys, when you have nations living in fear, they are much easier to control. So this would make perfect sense to me. If people thought they were literally aliens running around here, a danger to civilization, they would be much more willing to give up their rights. Me personally, I don't fully believe in aliens. I believe that the real thing, the real deal, is something a bit more sinister, more like demons that come from the abyss. But these things that we're seeing at the moment, I think it's just military controlled, or people playing pranks in the skies with drones and lights.
Project Bluebeam is the
That's why I'm telling you it's so important for us to wake up now, for real. I've seen so much comments talking about, God is coming, Jesus is coming, I want Jesus to come save us now. And it's like, people still are waiting for a savior. They're still waiting for a savior. And this is why it's so easy for them to the government to swoop in and scare everyone, because nobody is looking at themselves to be their saviors. Nobody's looking within. Nobody is looking within anymore. Nobody even wants to look within. Everybody, and I can kind of understand that. I can understand it, because life gets hard and everybody wants a savior. Everybody wishes hell, I wish right now that somebody would come save me. Give me, help me, hey. But it's like, we have to be the ones to look within, and the help is already there, but we have to be the one to look within to get the help. And so if we're not willing to do that, then unfortunately, but it's like, man, the government's really serious about these stuff. Wow. Even the people who are exposing these things, you'd be surprised. You might think, and that's how I felt at first. It's you might think that you're just a speck in the universe, right? Why would they care if I know? Or why would they care if I said something? But apparently they do. And apparently they know. These people are a lot more spiritual than you think, They're able to do things that a lot of us cannot do as people down here, as regular humans, right? They know about astrology a lot more than we think they do. They know about how the world works, the powers, the energies of this world. They are very powerful beings. We are just the ones that are unaware of how powerful they are. They're not the humans that you see walking around and you think, oh, they don't think. These people are smart and calculated, okay? Extremely calculated. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly. You think that these people can't astral travel? You think that these people aren't going to different planets and they're doing it. They're doing it all, So it's we're the ones who have to really, really wake up for real. This is now the time for us to look within ourselves, because they've already done that. They already know what herbs to drink, what herbs to take, they already know these things, right? We're the ones in the dark. Society's the ones in the dark, the ones that they want in the dark, right? They're trying to keep us in the dark. But don't you want to open that box a little bit and let some light in? You gotta let some light in.
Project Bluebeam. Have you heard about it? I hadn't until recently. So I got up last night and I really began to research it. If you follow my page, you know I'm always researching, I'm always reading, I'm very inquisitive. So I got up in the middle of the night and I began to research Project Bluebeam. What it is they're saying it's going to be like a simulation, a hologram in the sky, made by the reflectiveness of satellites up there. I don't know. But they're saying it's going to be like a hologram in the sky, but they'll be able to put up any kind of images.
And that is correct. But what I've heard from one of the government officials or whatever that's, went in the dark saying whatever, is they're going to actually have real beings walking Earth. Literally. They're not, okay, these beings are not the aliens, but they look like the alien. They look similar, close enough, because people down here don't really believe in aliens, period, right? So anything that they see, they're do you get it? You don't really know how the Lyrans look. You don't really know how the Greys look unless you study these things. You know what I mean? So if you were to see someone walking on the street as a Lyran, you're gonna be scared of shit. So they're gonna make those people now do awful things. So you're now afraid of all Lyrans, right? Get it? And then they're gonna try to be like, oh, run when you see them, but most of them are here to help. I'm not telling you a lie. Like, most of them are here to help. Like, the ones I've connected to and communicated with have all come in love. I've only ever felt love. So that's to show you. But there's good and bad in everybody. So, it's not to say that they can't have negatively oriented aliens coming to attack us. It's just the fact that it's the government that's trying to implant those thoughts in our heads. Like, oh, they're our enemy, stay away.
Even though many people believe it's a conspiracy, many people believe it's true. And they're saying that they're going to simulate the second coming of Christ. Now, I don't know if that's their plan, but all I know is this. There is truth in jokes, and sometimes lies are sprinkled with truth. They know all about the second coming of Christ. And they're saying that they're going to simulate the second coming. So I got up in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning, and I was just talking with the Lord, and I was researching. I hear from him the clearest at that time. And I began to research and read some things. The Lord said to me as clear as day, he said, they will never be able to simulate or counterfeit me or things from me. He said, but yet many will be deceived. He said, only my people will know when it's me and when it isn't. Beloved, we are entering more deceptive times than we.
And now, so if you really decipher that message, because there's no such thing as he said, because, okay, well, yes, the beings that wrote the Bible, right? But if you really decipher that message, it is correct, because only the awakened people, the people that have looked within themselves to find themselves, will know that these things are fake. You know what I mean? And they're not going to be afraid, because they're already channeling other beings. They're already speaking to their higher conscious. They're already speaking to source. So they'll know, obviously, right? But the people who, unfortunately, like this young lady, that are waiting for Jesus to come save them off of a cloud, unfortunately, they're not going to know, and they're going to be fooled. So that's why I really, really urge us all to start meditating, start looking within ourselves. Come on. Or at least if you're not going to, at least if you're not going to meditate, be in thought, be in your head. Try to connect with yourself, connect with yourself at all times. Even if you have to go into the bathroom and take a few deep breaths, like, on that out breath, you should, after a while, you'll start getting messages. You know what I mean? Well, I do. But I mean, even if you're not a messenger, right? Everybody that meditates has to be connected to the source of creation, right? We're all connected. So you don't have to be a messenger to get messages from source. All you have to do is be connected to yourself. That's literally it.
Ever experience in this world. The Lord said many are going to be deceived. You can't believe everything you see and everything you hear. You have to stay woke and stay close to God, because God said only his true people will know when it's him and when it isn't. So remember today, beloved, the Lord loves you, and so do I. And the purpose of this video isn't to prove it's true or to prove Project Blue Beam isn't true. I don't know enough about it. All I'm telling.
So guys, you heard her. We gotta just stay in meditation is all I have to say. Stay in a frequency that you're always connected to yourself at all times, no matter what, right? So you can see past the illusions. And if there is an illusion that you're getting wrapped up in, your higher self will tell you immediately, right? That's where we need to all be right now. So if you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and be my friend. Guys, I always say I need friends, right? So now I want you guys to be my friends. Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
In the forest deep and green.